Penguin Random House India presents The Accidental Prime Minister by Sanjay Baru. Read by Suyash Mohan. Preface. When this book was first published in April 2014, it became a runaway bestseller. The initial reaction was clouded by the political storm raised by it and the selective focus of the media. Equally, the myopic response of the PMO contributed both to its popularity and notoriety. Over time, however, as more people read the book and informed reviews appeared, a more balanced view was taken by most readers. This edition, with a new afterword, is being published against the backdrop of the movie adaptation. It is important for readers to note that the movie is adapted from the book and may well not be fully loyal to its contents. That is in the nature of the two very different media. As the author of The Accidental Prime Minister, I have not been associated with the making of the movie. The book was written for English language readers, though translations in Hindi, Marathi and Tamil have been published as well. The movie will target a wider audience. I hope those who have not yet read the book but intend to watch the movie will read the book as well. What has pleased me most about the success of this book is that it has since encouraged many persons in public life, including politicians and journalists, to put pen to paper and record their experiences and perceptions relating to contemporary political life in India. A democracy demands such recording of facts and opinion by those familiar with its working. I hope this book has contributed in its own way in taking the torch of inquiry into the dark corridors of power. Sanjaya Baru, New Delhi, October 2018. Introduction. The book I chose to write. None of my predecessors in the Prime Minister's office, PMO, has ever written a full account of his time there. Editors, some far more distinguished than I, who served various prime ministers as media advisors, such as Kuldeep Nair, B.G. Varghese, Prem Shankar Jha, and H.K. Dua, did not do so, nor did officials who performed those duties, such as G. Parthasarthi, Ram Mohan Rao, and P.V.R.K. Prasad. Parts of Nair's and Varghese's memoirs do, of course, cover that period of their careers, and Prasad has written a series of columns in the Telugu press on his tenure in South Block. But no one has devoted an entire book to his years at the PMO, reflecting on his boss's personality and policies. This reticence is peculiar to India. In both the United States and Britain, several press secretaries to presidents and prime ministers respectively have written freely about their jobs and their bosses. In India, my most distinguished and long-serving predecessor, H.Y. Sharda Prasad, set a very different tone. An unfailingly discreet and low-profile man, he was Indira Gandhi's information advisor, speech writer, and confidant for almost all her 16 years as Prime Minister, yet had to be coaxed over several years before he agreed to write a few newspaper columns about his time at the PMO. I first met the legendary Sharda Prasad in 1981 when he was at the height of his career, serving an all-powerful Indira Gandhi who had been re-elected Prime Minister in 1980 with a landslide vote after being rejected in the general elections of 1977. I was visiting Delhi for a few weeks after my marriage, and my wife Rama was keen that I should meet family friend Shauri Mama, as she had addressed him since her childhood, and his wife Kamla Amma. I met Kamla Amma at their house near Delhi's verdant Lodhi Gardens, but Sharda Prasad himself was hard to meet, simply because he was never home. Finally, we met in his office. One could then still enter the PMO through its main gate facing Rashtrapati Bhavan and walk up the grand staircase instead of entering, as visitors now do, by a modest and inelegant side entrance. So I climbed those stairs and met him in the same room that I would come to occupy more than 2 decades later. It was 4 times larger than the editor's room in the various newspaper offices in which I had worked, and faced the imposing west wing of North Block, home of the Ministry of Finance. I spent a few minutes with Sharda Prasad, noting how humble and low-profile a man he appeared in his imperial setting. Since I was, for him, Rama's husband and nothing more, the conversation naturally centered around Rama and her parents. I was too overawed by my surroundings to say much. I met him again only after I moved to Delhi to join the Economic Times, ET, in 1990, when he came home for our daughter's first birthday party. In 1993, after I moved from ET to Times of India, I invited him to write a column for the paper. He declined, saying he did not feel like commenting on contemporary issues. Undeterred, I asked him repeatedly to write about his time in the PMO, but he always had the same cryptic reply. I don't know everything that happened in the PMO. Not only do I not know all sides of the truth, I do not even know how many sides the truth has. Finally, in the late 1990s, he began writing a column for the Asian Age about his time with Indira Gandhi. He then put these columns together into a collection titled The Book That I Won't Be Writing and Other Essays. Putting it all down, wrote Sharda Prasad, commenting on why those once in power write memoirs, is a substitute for the authority they once commanded by virtue of their position but now miss. He then went on to explain why he resisted this temptation. Suppose you have no urge to project yourself or play the justifier of God's ways to man or man's ways to other men. Suppose you feel that what you know might not be the whole truth in the Rashomon-like ambivalence of events. Then will you come to the same conclusion as I have, and not write the book that friends expect. His words left their mark on me. I never planned to write a book about my eventful time in the PMO as Dr. Manmohan Singh's media advisor from 2004 to 2008. That is why I never kept a diary, though I did make notes on key events during my tenure. Right up to the end of 2012, I was clear in my mind that I would not write a book about that phase in my life, despite being coaxed by friends in the media and pursued by friends in the publishing world. Chiki Sarkar and Kamini Mahadevan of Penguin Books India made me change my mind. I yielded to their persuasions largely because of my own sense of profound sadness as I watched Manmohan Singh being unfairly treated as an object of public ridicule during his second term as Prime Minister. As I told Caravan magazine when it did a cover story on Dr. Singh in 2011, it is natural for a political leader to be either admired or hated, but a politician should never become an object of ridicule. Dr. Singh's descent was disturbingly steep. When I left the PMO in 2008, television news channels were serenading him with the popular refrain from a Hindi movie song, Singh is King. 4 years later, a news magazine punned on that very refrain to deliver a bleak verdict on the Prime Minister. Singh is Sin King. He did not deserve this fate. He has many faults, and I have not hesitated to record them in this book. However, he remains not just a good man, but, in the final analysis, also a good Prime Minister. This is especially true of his first term in office. He is, even at his worst, a cut above the competition, be it from within the ruling Congress party or would-be Prime Ministers in other parties. No Congress leader, and I include here the party's leader Sonia Gandhi and her heir apparent Rahul Gandhi, can match his unique combination of personal integrity, administrative experience, international stature, and political appeal across a wide swath of public opinion. These qualities were strikingly evident during the first term of the Congress-led United Progressive Alliance from 2004 to 2009, UPA won, with Dr. Singh at its helm. However, as bad news...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?